if you're still not sold on the PlayStation 5, you will be able to go to a store, specifically Best Buy, and actually see a demo kiosk in the wild, which you and I haven't actually gotten to do that yet. In a normal year, there would have been preview events and E3s and Comic Cons. We probably would have seen some PS5s here and there. But if you want to see a PS5 up close in person to see how big it is, you can go do that in the Best Buy in America and Canada right now. Some people are actually taking pictures of those kiosks as we speak, and they're cool looking.
Here we got a photo of one here. It looks it's apparently actually running Spider-Man. The interesting thing about this is, I guess, in an effort to keep people from getting their dirty little hands on everything, you cannot experience the DualSense firsthand, which honestly, that's a bummer because that's one of its big, bells and whistles. But also, it's probably for the best to discourage people from, putting their hands on something during flu season this year, especially.
So this demo kiosk shows off some pictures of the accessories and the console itself running, the hardware itself running on a 4K TV, presumably, which is great. I imagine it's just like cycling through demos and stuff like that. But here's the thing: if you look closely, this console is actually encased in this sort of like hard plastic bubble, probably for safety measures, for theft measures, and a bunch of other things. And that's kind of a problem because it doesn't really have a lot of room to breathe. Now, this specifically, the PS5 by design is gigantic so that it can breathe, right? We all had PS4s and PS4 Pros, and most of us will tell you that by the end of its life cycle, or especially playing big games like, The Last of Us, God of War, that thing sounded like a helicopter, right? That was a running joke.
I mean, I think it's a helicopter if you get like a Pebble or something in there. I was going to go with the jet engine, but your point is taken. But yeah, so if you have this thing that's meant to ventilate and then you lock it in a plastic box that doesn't have air holes, what you might kind of expect is
this. Twitter user Zaliak was in a Best Buy and said, "There's a Series X and a PS5 on display at my Best Buy, and the Series X is actually way smaller than I expected," which is kind of funny. The PS5 though, goddamn. Upon further inspection, the screen had a message on it stating that the PS5 was too hot to use. Like if you've ever owned a mobile phone, like an iPhone or something like that, and you've been out on a hot day, or you're like just sitting out in a park or something like that, and you put your phone down, you go to pick it up, it might give you that warning. This is happening here. Now, before everybody like jumps down the throat of this thing and that says that, it has overheating issues, we can't confirm any of that yet, but we can confirm that if you put the PS5 in a plastic bubble, which feels like such a dumb thing for them to do.
Like maybe a metal cage or something.
Yeah.
Or just,
anything.
Yeah.
Let it breathe. And I remember a few weeks ago, there was a lot of rumors kicking around about how hot the Series X would get, right? And people were doing sort of thermo tests on it and stuff like that, checking the temperature, making sure that this wouldn't be a problem. And it turned out to be, nothing. This is a big system. And so I think a lot of people are going to either put it on the floor next to their TVs or try to jam it into their entertainment centers in some way.
I've been saying this, but I think this generation of consoles is going to sort of change the way that we buy entertainment centers. Like I stayed in a hotel a couple years ago, and I thought it was really funny because they had wall mounted a normal 16:9 flat screen HD TV, but they had this weird old wooden hutch that clearly used to have an old CRT TV in it. It's had this whole big, space for it. So they just shoved the fridge in there. So you had this weird like entertainment center you'd open up and there'd be a fridge inside that. I think we're probably going to see entertainment consoles that have, first of all, a lot more space in both directions to support the Series X and the PS5, but also probably a little more breathing room. Like maybe they forego that weird like little over under thing where the cords go in the back and just be like, let's let it breathe. There's also I know that some people will like kit bash IKEA stuff and insert PC fans in the back to help cool that off. But this is kind of wild. The PS5 getting too hot. I mean, obviously, given how much they've hyped up how this is a machine designed to keep itself cool, and the whole reason it looks the way it does is for that very reason. But maybe don't put it in a plastic terrarium like it's a frog you caught in the creek.
Yes, and don't put a frog in that you caught in a bubble like that either.
Don't catch frogs; they're endangered, man. Leave them alone.
Yeah, so just a PSA, we will obviously be looking more into this, and like this is what always happens when systems launch. Problems arise, and so hopefully this isn't something that we see day to day when we're actually using these $500, $400 consoles in the wild. But in the meantime, we will keep digging into this kind of stuff. But if you're getting a next gen console next week, give it some space, give it a little breathing room, let it
Yeah.
breathe.
And leave those frogs alone.